Hi YouTube. Hi world. Here's what I promised. Um, this is an essay I wrote in high school. Um, and I am thankful to the sources that I took from to write this. Mostly Morgan Freeman, thank you. Um, and the show that he was on. Um, Nervous. Okay. I don't mean to offend, but this is just my personal opinion. Um, so here goes. A Charter of Freedom, a literary analysis of the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events it becomes the necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume the powers of the station to which the laws of nature and of the nature's God entitled them, Thomas Jefferson and our forefathers recognized that the old ways of the British Empire was no more than a subtle form of human bondage, slaves to their unjust taxes and unfair laws. Although Jefferson himself owned slaves, there is no mention of black people or women in this predominant statement of the equality of man. The original drafts of the Declaration of Independence denounced the slave trade as a cruel war against human nature itself. Is there truly a difference between being a slave of a wealthy landowner and being a slave to the big banks, which they have a vested interest all over the world? The ones who fortune from the suffering of others? Is there a difference from the big banks and the tyrannical usurpers that our founding fathers revolted against? Among some of these unalienable rights taken away by these tyrannical usurpers were they refused their own assents to laws, forbidden to make laws unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature. They have dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with mainly firmness his invasion on the rights of the people. They endeavored to prevent the population of these states. For that purpose, obstructed the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migration hither, raising the conditions of new appropriations of land. They have erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. They have kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. They have kept among us, they have affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. The list of depravities goes on, but it also goes back to the beginning as well. History is plagued with oppression, hatred, and corruption. We came here to start anew, to escape the persecution of the old world. Jefferson said the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. We thought that price was worth paying to escape the wrath of King George III. Our declaration was a list of unalienable human rights. But what gives us the right to choose who can have these rights and who cannot? There is not one corner of this world that has not fought for or is still fighting for these rights. How does it end? When does it end? Equality means the state of being equal, not a choice of non-concurrence. They are universal rights, not anyone's alone. Our stand inspired other revolutions. But why our forefathers or the world cannot see the greater meaning of those powerful words, that we are not peoples from different lands or from different history. Every creature, every plant, every rock, and every living thing on this planet is affected by the other. Immigration has made the world go round since the beginning of time, or none of us would be here. So in my opinion, the Declaration of Independence is not just ours alone, but to all of humanity. I hope one day to achieve our forefathers' goal, but on a planetary scale, and to put an end to all wars, conflict, and sacrifice. A true revolution is when the whole of humanity is united in love. Thank you. But what I have also realized since I wrote this is that we are still fighting for everything our forefathers were fighting for. It's all here in black and white, but no one notices because we are distracted or manipulated. Thank you. Dancing with the stars in the love and the light. Won't you join me?